Hello, wonderful to see everybody. Welcome to the session. Great that there are so many amazing people here today. We are going to be hosting a session, as you can see, that is called Mobile Growth Agents 2.0, Lessons Learned from the companies SplitMetrics and InnoGames. We're going to be talking today about the real-life examples on how we deployed AI agents in our companies, what were the challenges that we faced, the wins that we had, and we also might have the time for Q&A, but we're going to go through all the content, so please keep your questions and comments until the end, and we're going to be very happy to address them. So let's kick off with a very standard but important slide, the introduction. So my name is Galina. I'm working at SplitMetrics in the customer success and support department. I've been in the digital marketing industry for over 16 years now, scary to say, and 5 years in SplitMetrics right now. I am a mother of two, so a working mom, which makes things even more interesting at times. I am a big fan of AI not replacing people and actually enhancing the workflows, helping us, assisting us, and that's what we are also trying to show today. And I'm here not alone today, but with my wonderful colleague from InnoGames.
Yeah, thank you very much. So first of all, I have to admit this is very heavy, this microphone, which I'm surprised about. But I'm Andre. I'm Andre. I originally started my career in e-commerce and now work at InnoGames for, by now, almost 10 years already. Fun fact is, I haven't been a gamer when I started, so I would rather not talk about myself as a gamer. Mirroring what Galina just said, I'm also a dad of two, but if you have the question in your mind now, no, it's not the same kids. Yeah. And I mean, in the end, I'm also a believer it's not a big surprise that AI will reduce our stress, and I believe it will be a multiplier for us.
Yeah, so here we're on the same page. Just to kind of like set the stage a little bit about SplitMetrics as well here and understand why, for example, we as a company went to the AI field. So SplitMetrics is a technology company on the first place, and we are the ecosystem of products and services that are designed for the app growth, mobile app growth. And we're doing that through mobile user acquisition. We are doing that through app store optimization, through different work with designs, with services around that, with managed services, with the integration support, as well as the insights and intelligence. And this is where the whole story of the AI basically started. And you as marketers probably also can relate to the fact that I, for example, realized after the years of working in marketing is that there is one thing that is constant, that actually there is nothing constant in marketing. There is like always something is happening, things are changing. This is super fast-paced industry, and we always have to iterate, test, try different things. We never settle for something that worked out for our competitors or someone else in the field, and we always have to try to find new ways. And on one hand side, this is great because there are so many different opportunities that are also appearing on the market for us to try. But on the other hand side, that also creates some sort of pressure on the marketers from inside of the organizations, from outside of the organizations. We have to be fast, we have to be structured, we have to deliver good quality yesterday. And that kind of like, it can be overwhelming. And the truth is, the things that worked for us yesterday might not be working today. And yeah, I'm not going to go through all these challenges. This slide already gives me anxiety, so that's exactly what I'm talking about. But the thing is that the whole decision-making process, because of the overwhelming that gives the industry to us, so many channels, so many opportunities, but at the same time, so many rules, privacy controls, fraud, whatever, you name it, that kind of like gives us the problems with certain decision-making, with like the room for innovation or strategic thinking is shrinking also. And so in this situation, you would think, or we would all think, that AI should help us and not create the additional layer of anxiety, which on one hand side makes sense logically, but in reality, 53% of marketers do not clearly understand how to apply AI today. And that actually leaves us in a situation where we have a lot of tools and a lot of opportunities, but we might not always understand how exactly use this data and how to apply it and make it actionable. And to me, for example, that seems like this classical analysis paralysis situation when you have, like all those choices, but you actually have a problem of making the right choice. And at the end of the day, what we don't need more tools at some point. We actually just need to know how to learn. We need to learn, how to use the tools that we already have. And this is where we see that the AI agents can come at handy, and they actually can go to this gap between I have a tool and how to use it. And so now coming to the practical examples, and here I'm very happy also to give the mic to Andrei on how and what we as two different companies built in this field.
Yeah, thank you. Starting a bit to talk about the journey that we have at InnoGames. So, I mean, we all know ChatGPT and the launch, but before that, we already had some rather isolated use cases, some experimentation. ChatGPT, of course, changed it for everyone. No big surprise, but we really had like the turning point in 2024. So early on in 2024, we decided to have an AI chat tool or a chat interface, which is called Typing Mind, where we're able to integrate multiple LLMs mainly, and also have AI agents built in the interface itself. Then mid of 2024, we were bold enough to say this is a topic that is really important. So we built a task force really that is dedicated to AI, and that is basically helping our teams and colleagues setting basically the standards that we have in AI by now. 2025 was then the change that we did a lot of experimentation, tested around, and in 2025, things really kicked off. So not only in marketing, also in other departments, heavy use of AI and some kind of automation. In marketing, we also started to build our own AI agents with the tool just mentioned. And 2026 will also be a very interesting year for us because we will have very early on agentic AI trainings for marketing. And based on that, let's see where this goes. So here is an overview or a few of the AI agents that we've already built with the tool. And I will talk a bit more about the tool in a minute. But I want to guide you through that. So what you can see is basically we do have different agents for content creation, ad copies, creative analysis, localization, research, and so on. And I want to emphasize on three different ones. And starting in the bottom right corner, we have the promotional content writer for ASO mainly. So we do have seasonal in-game events in our games happening, so bigger events. And before we used AI even, or before we used that agent, what we did is basically we had overview pages with information about the event and so on, but we really sat down, we wrote the text ourselves. We had to find a way to put it into the character size and so on, or the character count. With this new agent, it was possible that we only enter one URL, and based on that, it will create everything for us so that we're also able to put it in for featuring maybe on the app stores. Also, by now, it creates ad copies as well for all the partners. The second one is the middle one, which is the image analyzer, which I personally really like. So working in marketing, you also have to deal, of course, with a lot of creatives. And what we kind of did with that is we build an agent where we have to just upload one image. And based on that, it will describe this image in detail, in all details. So this makes it possible for us if we want any variations, if we just want to understand it, if we want to talk to the creative department, to really know what we are talking about there, or what the changes are that we're talking about in their language. And this also hands over to the one in the bottom left, which is called BridgeBot, Bridget. So basically, we realized we have a lot of topics and a lot of projects which are interdepartmental. So we work together as marketing with tech departments, creative departments, I mentioned, the game teams itself. And what we also figured out, if it's just pure communication or if it's a briefing or something like that, we sometimes don't speak the same language. And it was a lot of back and forth until we got to the point where we had what we wanted. So here we built like this AI agent, which helps us now to basically translate a bit into the language of the people we want to speak to. And this is helping us a lot, saving time. Yeah, I think we can go to the next one, because this hands over. I mean, this was one of the first ones which I created in here. And I said at the beginning, I will talk a bit about Typing Mind. And when you hear about AI agents, you might think only about automation and stuff. But here, really, we started simple. So it's really a conversational agent. It's inbuilt in this platform. And you can see on the left side, the basic information you have to give it is you have to give it a name. Doesn't have to be a fancy name, even if we try to, but it's about the system instructions. So what you would do, or what you would add to an AI if you ask it. The part where it gets more advanced is the one on the right side. So we can actually put or add a model that we want to have to it. So currently, I mean, for us in use, GPT-5, Claude Sonnet 4.5, and Gemini Flash Image 2.5 are really heavy used and mostly used for us. So we can assign one of those agents. We do have different plugins, so starting from web search, but also some internal data from our wiki pages. We also do have, at the bottom on the right, we do have a welcome message so that things get started. And we do have some also these so-called conversation starters where we can put something in so that everyone is able to access it. And the last point is, if manageable or if it makes sense, we do also have training files. So in this case, to write headlines, we do have some best practices. We do have some brand guidelines implemented. And that way we can generate this AI agent. So what I want to tell, or what I want to make sure here is, it doesn't have to be a code-based AI agent. It can also start really simple, and it doesn't have to be automation. But I believe that will be the next part, and hand over to Galina.
Thank you so much. I mean, this is super impressive. And actually, I also personally learned about what InnoGames is doing just thanks to this keynote that we're doing together. And we've been working for several years already with InnoGames. And this is really massive, what the companies are doing in-house right now. So for SplitMetrics, it's also a similar journey from the point of the timeline. So we obviously, we're in the market for like 10 plus years. So it all started not just a couple of years ago. It's the 10 years of working with Apple ads, it's working with different advertising channels, it's working with App Store optimization. But really formalization of our AI Research and Development Center started in 2022. This is where we actually realized that our focus should be shifting slowly to the AI direction. And along 2022 and 2023, we were doing the training for the models, tests, upgrades. We were doing that first internally, then externally as well, thanks to our customers who were also bold enough to come together with us and not to be afraid to test those that. At the end, last year, we actually launched our very first AI models family that is called Samba, that is today working on millions of data points every day and actually sourcing our a lot of campaigns and working on the back of our AI agents. And so that actually led us to the first success in 2025 when we faced 25% of our overall spend within the company, the media spend, going and managed by AI. And to be frank, we assume that within the next couple of months, this amount is going to increase to 50%, which is going to mean $500 million of media spend being managed by AI. This is something that I think neither of us would imagine like a year ago, that this is what's going to happen. What else happened, also talking about AI agents, on top of that, this year we launched our very first agent designed specifically for Apple Ads and App Store optimization. This was the first and is the first agent on the market. And the thing that still amazes me the most about pretty much any AI agent, Iris as well, this is the name of our AI agent, is that how fast the speed to insight is. So I'm a millennial, you can tell probably, and like every time I hear analysis or research, I'm thinking still a long time. I'm thinking really going through materials, preparing a lot of things, maybe talking to people, going through so many notes and so on. And nowadays this can happen in split second. And the thing is that it doesn't surprise anybody in this room already. Yeah, we all used already some agents, and we know how fast the answer can come. It doesn't surprise, but it still amazes. And for example, here, the research that, for example, I would do a couple of years ago, and I would spend hours and days preparing. Biggest advertisers in Germany by Apple Ad spend estimate. This is from this month. Obviously, you can see in November, the Black Friday month, all the e-commerce brands are striving here. But this is really what I ask Iris, and this is delivered in seconds. And the beauty of this, that you can actually go deeper into research. You can ask the questions that are very specific for Apple Ads and very specific for App Store optimization. It can be about the specific keywords, can be about the specific markets. It can be open questions about like where my strategy lacks, where my competitors are doing better during the seasonality, what is my share of voice, and so on and so forth. And this is just a little bit to see how exactly our AI agent Iris for Apple Ads and App Store optimization is working. The agent right now is operating on Slack. This is also because it's kind of like making this whole work much easier, and it creates this feeling of, okay, this is my assistant and my colleague answering my questions. And this is how far you can go discussing and asking different questions. Again, it's not going to be a surprise. Most of the questions that our customers are asking, they're laying in the area of competition, the strategy defining, where should I go, what should my go-to-market strategy look like, and so on. And this is exactly what the vertical AI agents are doing, and this is the main difference between, like, if you're comparing Iris and any other generic agent, is that this is a very domain knowledge that you would have access to. So this is specifically Apple Ads and App Store optimization. And right now we're also expanding that to cover more user acquisition channel to be very, very precise and specific in this area. And of course, the speed would mean nothing if we are talking about lack of revenue. So we know as marketers that ROAS is always the most important thing, and we want to get this from anything that we do. And actually, that was also the reason why the adoption of the AI managed campaigns was picked up so much by our customers, is that at some point we saw that ROAS was actually showing a very, very positive results much faster for the AI managed campaigns. Just last week, I had a pleasure hosting a wonderful panel that is called Women in AI. And one of the brilliant women who joined me there was Anastasia from Flow, is the customer of ours, the adopter of Iris. And she was actually talking about the usage of AI agents, not necessarily Iris, but many others. And she was actually also talking about the how decision-making process changed in general, how fast that became and how proactive it became. And that it actually just like having a personal assistant always available at your fingertips for any question that is very specific on the user acquisition topics. So now coming to the process of building, like we have a lot of agents, obviously in InnoGames. We have our main agent, Iris, in SplitMetrics. So while building the agents, what went well and what did not? I think that's that's the most interesting piece. So I'm going to hand to Andrea on this point.
Yeah, I mean, here it says clear wins. So if you do it right, of course, there are a few wins. You have faster analysis, greater consistency, research can be done within minutes, excellent performance. So in the end, it can be highly effective and save you a lot of times. But going to the next slide, we also want to really highlight that there are still a lot of failures, not only in agentic AI, but also in AI in general. And what we did here is to talk about that on the left side, this is like a static image we have for our ad campaigns. So we tested a bit around with a text to video tool. And what we tried to do is we also did prompt, like from prompt engineering. So we did everything, gave it a role, described the image and so on, and said, or the use case here was, I said, okay, the workers should look exhausted, then there should be a human hand coming in, grabbing the hammer, fixing the house, and everyone's happy.
They look happy.
Yes. Yeah. And that's actually the part, like when we did that, really we put this heavy prompt in there and so on. And this was like one of the first results. And I can tell you already, it was super hard to really get it going. And we didn't really have a version where we were really happy. But yeah, the drilling machine, I have no clue what it's doing because it was not even really mentioned. Anyways, going to the next slide, we have another one. And here we have a winner. So if you quickly look at the left one, this was also, I mean, now they are coming in. So it was also a static image. So we had the split screen for our game. And the idea here was also, okay, let's put a more heavy task. We have a split screen. We have 3 different scenes. Let's see if we can make it happen that all 3 different scenes have an animation on it, which is special for that one. And you can see the first try was more like that. So there were like astronauts coming in. I mean, I told it astronauts should dance or should be happy, but there's a 3-armed astronaut. There are more, I don't know. Anyways, what we did then, and I talked about the image analyzer before. And the nice thing is with that, we gave that image into the image analyzer and said, give a detailed description of it. And it did. And then we went from the part on the left to the one on the right. I mean, what we have to say is on the moon, there's no wind. So that's also a big failure. Then, but we had a success case. So it was helping us with this image analyzer. I can also say, and I have to be very honest, on the right one, we also tested to make the flag stand still and leave the rest like it is. And we had a full different picture again, or a full different animation again. But there are success cases from failure. And going to the lessons learned, and also here I won't go through all of them, but one of the first ones we had, and I showed you this headline creator. And of course, you have to give it some restrictions. So headlines have to be this character or this number of characters, descriptions like this, and so on and so on. And what we found out is that it's really, really bad at counting. So different characters are counted differently. And it took us some time to really get there that we can only count characters that we wanted. So that also made like our text ad creation a bit inconsistent. I think for the creative generation, and you saw the animation outputs, we already saw that. I don't have to talk about it. It's also a bit more difficult. And what we also seen is that these small edits on animations did a whole change of the full animation. And the last thing we learned, especially for this text to video, is that simple prompts sometimes outperform the ones which are very detailed. So also try those out.
Yeah, thank you very much. I will just stay here because I realize that I'm covering half of the screen, so apologies for that. Yeah, our lessons learned were actually, some of them were similar to what Andrea mentioned for InnoGames, but what we realized, and somehow you think that it's going to be like a no-brainer, but at the end of the day, it was important, is that AI models actually need time to learn. It needs much more testing, longer testing, data sets. It needs to have a lot of data to work and much longer time to learn. And this is something that sometimes neither we or our customers have at hand. Also about the data, yeah, your AI agent is as good as your data is. So the more good data you have, the better the AI agent is going to be and analyzing the data and giving you the insights that you actually can create an actionable decisions on. Active prompting, yeah, just like Andrea also mentioned, this is very crucial skill, and it's not only about like our agents, it's about any agent you're working with. Yeah, and I'm sure that you also saw a lot of articles in the internet already about how to structure the prompt, how to make your experiences better. So this is actually working. This is important. So you should definitely pay attention on this. What we also realized while working with Iris, with our agent, is that even though she's very smart, and obviously the data that we were giving her was also very extensive, she's still lacking sort of historical data and understanding of the reality, something that we have as humans. For example, we saw that seasonality and niche market specifics were missing through the insights. For example, she could not understand what Black Friday is, when it is, if there is any Super Bowl or any sort of Bundesliga happening or something. So this is the human touch and human interaction that should still happen very regularly in order to make the insights accurate. So yeah, this loop of human and AI collaboration should always be there. And just like I mentioned, the vertical AI and general AI, it's very important to understand the difference and what the vertical AI can do and cannot do. And this is also about, it's not like one replacing the other. It's still just about the way that you're using them in combination to get the best results. And what also, like, one of the takeaways here is that the usage of AI is not just when you're putting the tool there and say, okay, this is a new tool, use it. It's really the structural and organizational change in the organization that has to happen, in the mindset that has to happen. And so what does it actually mean for our companies? And I'll continue about our experience, is that cultivating the AI first mindset in the people in the organization, giving the examples on, like when you have a question, how to, where to go, how to ask, how to use the prompting, and so on. We have dedicated Slack channels for people to share the news about AI, any releases on the market, any like prompting, any like best case and worst case scenarios that people use, like using our AI assistant and the other ones on the market. We have the dedicated sessions with our machine learning teams, the data science teams. We also held our first AI dedicated hackathon in a company, encouraging people, bringing their even sometimes crazy ideas to the table, saying like, hey, this is what I want. And maybe today it's not achievable, but it gives food for thought, and this is what matters. And of course, the feedback loops between the employees internally and externally, with the customers, with partners. I cannot say, like, I cannot thank enough the customers who actually went for it, the InnoGames as well, who were testing Iris and the Samba AI and everything. So this is really, really, really amazing to have this support. Yeah, I believe that, Andrei, you would have also some of the similar ones.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, what I would like to mention is also here, for us, we had this company-wide AI encouragement, and especially with this tool, Typing Mind, that I mentioned, we had this solid base and this easy-to-access part where everyone felt safe to really use it. And also these internal agentic AI trainings that are coming up are more dedicated to go towards the point of automation. So what can we actually automate? However, one of the important points is also we restructured our marketing rather recently and went from a partner-specific approach towards a game approach, as we have multiple games. And that also made AI agents much more interesting for us, because that meant we have to basically teach others to use the tools and so on. And there it also can help a lot. And yeah, in the end, we still believe a lot that based on the knowledge we have right now, that at least at this moment of time, agents are really like a multiplier or extender of our work and not really replacing us. And also going like the key takeaways you can take. We had a lot of text now. It was very text heavy, so I won't go through all of that. But what I would suggest, at least from our side, what we did is we started very simple. So test multiple modes, test different AIs, ask the AI what it's actually capable of or what it's best at, because that's also what was also very interesting for us. Based on that, expect failures, iterate on that, add the data that is relevant, and yeah, then in the end, hopefully you can save a lot of time, you have faster insights, and for new agents, you don't have to do so many iterations and you're really used to it.
Yeah, and I think that's basically the main takeaway that we would like to kind of like bring to the room, and this is what we mentioned already, is that the agents itself, they are not tools. Yeah, this is really the organizational change and change in our mindset and understanding on how exactly we can use it for the best, how we can build the best AI agents and include that into our into the way that we do business, into the way that we work with people. Yeah. So that's, I think that there will be a lot of sessions also moving forward in general in the industry on how to do the change management with AI focus. So that's it for today from us. We thank you all for being here. And yeah, if you have any questions, I think have 5 minutes right now, if there is anything. If not, we are here. We also have SplitMetrics has a stand, so come along, have some conversations with us, have some sweets, and we're happy to take this forward with you. And wishing you an amazing conference. Thank you.
Thank you very much.